Hey everyone. I promised I was going to go on YouTube today, and here we are. And here you are. We're in the midst of COVID-19, the coronavirus, and all the ramifications therein. It's hitting everyone in the globe. And I wanted to, as a result, take a moment to reach out with you all, my audience, my YouTubers, and anyone else, because I'm hoping this video will be helpful. I'm going to turn off any monetization on it. I don't want anyone to have to sit through an ad to see it. I feel like now is the time to come together. And the reason I wanted to come on this video was basically to help. I want to talk about how businesses can stay alive beyond social distancing. So, one of the reasons well, it's two reasons actually why I wanted to get on this video was we did hear in the last couple of days that a business who has been in our neighborhood and our community for the last few decades is probably not going to reopen after all of this social distancing and coronavirus stuff passes by, which makes us very sad. And, we want to feel powerless about how to help stop that because unfortunately it's a restaurant and, they can do takeout, they can do delivery and stuff, but that doesn't really make up for the fact that their dining room is pretty much shut to customers. Another thing is that I do go to a salon regularly. This is not my normal hair color. And I do go to a salon and I'm worried about that salon still being there when we're done with all of this stuff. And not just because I want to go get my hair done, but because I care about that place. I've gone there for over a decade. So, it's those kinds of things where we all care about what happens to all of us and to each other when this is all blown over, when this is all behind us. But in the here and now, it can feel very real. So I wanted to do this video about how can businesses stay alive beyond social distancing. So businesses are being, asked to either shut or really restrict what they can do with their customers. They can't interact with their customers. Sometimes that's a big hit or a big obstacle. Sometimes it's a little less, and they're doing whatever they can. I would like to offer through this video some ways that potentially a business could make some income on the side or be able to kind of just get enough through to where you can float through this and come out the other side successful and still open. So to do that, bear with me. And also, I promise it's not that kind of video. I do want to show the shirt I'm wearing today, which I thought was appropriate. And notice it's got a T-Rex with, their short little hands. They can't watch their hands. It's really sad. But little T-Rex with a grabber. And so that's what we want to talk about today is like, hey, how do we become the T-Rex that we may have short arms right now, but we can still grab at opportunity and still make it through. So with that mentality of we are unstoppable, I bring you this next bit of stuff. So first of all, business owners, talking to you. Those of you who have had an experience with your business where you're not able to run and function as you normally would. Your customers are not able to come to you. They're not able to maybe come into your place of business, your brick and mortar. You're not able to interact with them, and that is greatly hindering what you normally would do and how you would interact with them. So what I want to encourage you to do is we need to delve into the DIY mentality because the fact is most of us are starting to have to stay at home. We can't go out as much. And when we do go out, we're not able to get all the things we may want or need. We can't go to all the places we'd like to go. Yesterday, we would have loved to have gone to a brewery in the area, but we can't. We could have gone to order out food, but you can't just go and sit there. And it's right because you should social distance to try to keep everyone safe. But we need to delve into the DIY mentality because everyone who's in that predicament and they're stuck at home or they're not able to get all the things they normally would able to get or order are going to start having to delve into how do they do it themselves. Okay. Now, for some of you out there, you're like, they should not do it themselves. I'm the professional in their life and I'm the one that helps them not have to mess up. They might mess up. They might not know what they're doing. That is a perfect opportunity for you to step in. And thanks to the technological resources we have, all of us, and those are the ones I'm going to talk about today on this video, we can still reach out to our customers and tell them about how not to do things and how they should do things. So what I wanted to talk about a bit was how do we do that? How do we make sure that people know how they can they can survive, they can get by without coming to see you, without coming for your products or services, and how do you get through there? So I want to highlight two examples, and these are just two. If you're a business that is not one of the ones I'm about to talk about, please in the comments drop what you're feeling, what you're going through. I would love to try to brainstorm with you in the comments and otherwise on how we can help you and how you can get through this. But first, I want to talk about salons and stylists. So I mentioned this is not my natural hair color. In a few weeks, and probably less than that, all this, my roots are going to start growing out, and there's going to be a line, and you're going to see that I am really going silver quite a bit, and also have some ash brown hair, ash brown. And so I would love to go to my salon, but I can't. So how? I might start thinking, well, how can I hide my roots? What do I do? Salon owners are going to tell you the last thing they want you to do is go out and get a box dye to do your hair with. So if you're a salon owner or a stylist, that's going to be an automatic something that somebody's going to be looking up. How do they do it? Why don't you be that resource? You're their resource anyway. And they may be texting you, asking you this already. How am I going to get through without seeing you? That's absolutely something that, that's a DIY need, and you can help address it and help tell them, say, here's how not to do it, but here's how you could do it. I even heard of a stylist who's going to get the color maybe to the person, not interact, just get them dropped off. They'll pay they'll pay digitally, and then the person can then walk with them how to apply it. Okay. So this is the age we're in. But you can get into that DIY area. So helping with hair tips. How do you not mess up your hair if you do need to touch up roots? If you work at a salon where you do eyebrow waxing or lip waxing and things like that, can you guide your customers into how to do that safely, or how to maintain it at least until they can see you again? These are real things. Obviously, COVID-19, coronavirus is on everyone's mind, but so is everything else. How do you kind of just try to live life normally? How are we going to get through this? And so that's where a salon owner or stylist can really be that resource. Another one is restaurant owners and employees at restaurants. So again, if your dining room is closed, you may find that you're trying to do takeout or delivery, provide that, but that's a big hit to your revenue. What else could you do? You could start sharing tips with your customers, your regular customers, and even beyond them. How can you do meal prep? You're stuck in your home. Maybe you're going out and trying to get to go to the grocery store, which we all know is having like empty rows and aisles. How can someone prep a meal with what they have at home? And are there substitutes if they don't have something? And help with cooking. I'm a person who does not know how to cook. It would be very helpful if I, have a favorite restaurant and I can't get to them, and I'm like, I love that meal you make, that dish. And if they could say, great, if you want to make something like it, here's how to do that until you can come see us again. Another idea is a restaurant owner or a restaurant employee could show someone here's how to make something where we're making something, preparing something, creating it for when you do come back, kind of teasing it out. So those are some options that you can delve into. And again, I just highlighted a few ideas for restaurant owners and employees, and also salon owners and stylists. Again, tons of businesses out there who are probably trying to think through these things too, but we have to get into that DIY mentality. What are people going to be looking up? You can go and if you're having trouble thinking of those things, just go onto Google search bar and start typing in, how do I, and fill in the blank of like, how do I meal prep? How do I cook? How do I touch up my roots? You're going to see how many people are looking up that query. That's a place you can step in. And as you type that in, Google will tell you what other people are looking at based on, that same kind of phrasing. So really great ideas. And also just think about the things that people are asking you all the time anyway, when it's normal business. How do you make this taste so good? What kind of flavoring are you used? I'm not asking you to give away the whole thing, because you do want to keep stuff close to the chest, because you don't want someone else just replicating. But nobody can do that right now. Everybody's in lockdown or quarantine or, social distancing or what have you. So just some ideas there. Get into that DIY mentality so that we can overcome this. And then the next thing I want to talk to you about is sharing. How do you then share what you know? And video is honestly the best way to do it. Yes, you can blog. But yes, you can, do all those other things that have written word, and you should. But showing and telling through video is so easy, and that's what people are looking at right now. I would bet a lot of people are actually trying to create their own videos now anyway, because they're like, I don't, some people have tons of time on their hands now. They don't know what else to do. Podcasts, I bet we're going to see a big rise in too, because people are just trying to generate. They want to talk and engage and interact. But you can share what you know through video. So that's where, let's get into the part where we get into the practical of this. So, okay, I'm a salon owner and I want to be able to tell my customers how not to do their hair and how not to damage it until I can see them again. But I need to show them how. So first of all, how would you do that via video? So I want to hold up this lovely device, the smartphone. It's all gross. I need to wipe it off. Social distancing from my own phone. But you have a perfectly good camera right on this smartphone. People are shooting movies with smartphones, and this is really all the camera you need. I'm using a webcam right now to take this, but I could use my phone if I wanted to, but I wanted to hold this up and demonstrate it, because you can actually use your camera on your smartphone to take videos of yourself. So definitely your smartphone, you probably already have one, don't need to go out and get one. Something you may have or need. So I'm going to show you kind of the quintessential thing you can have is a mount. So it's got a big base right here. It's nice and heavy and solid. And then it's got a rod right here, and you can actually you can make it taller if you need to, based on what you need. And then at the top, it's got an appendage. Now, this is actually a tablet clamp. So you can actually put an iPad or a tablet in here, and that can be what takes your video. I can actually even fit my phone. I could clamp it in here too if I needed to. But I get this from Arkon Mounts. So it's arkon.com. I'll put the links in the description and the comments. And if you use the code REALLYSOCIAL, all caps REALLYSOCIAL, I think you get 15 or 20% off, which is great. But that's really handy because you do want to have a stable shot. So whenever you're getting a video done of you, the more stable the camera is, the more professional it will look. And you don't want to have to think about that. Now, sometimes this comes along with cameras and smartphones. You might also have a little tripod like this. Now, a smartphone obviously can fit in here. And then you've got the 3 legs of the tripod. And the great part is these are bendy. See, they're real stiff to bend, but you can have it standing still on a surface, or if you're talking about a staircase banister or a railing, you can actually even, get that all situated on there, get your smartphone in there, and it'll hold it steady for whatever angle you're looking at doing. Really great if you're looking at doing cooking and stuff too, because that can kind of do an overhead view of whatever you're doing and it'd be a little easier. So I really do recommend getting something like this. Again, these are pretty cheap. Arkon.com, arkon.com. And you can get that discount with my code REALLYSOCIAL. So you definitely want to do that. Also there's apps you can get on your phone. So let's say you shoot a video and you're like, there was one point where I messed up, but I don't want to, it was good on either side of that. Video editing apps are free. A lot of them are free and really good. They might have ads in them, but you can still use a lot of the features or even a trial version of them. But you can get those on your smartphone and just edit right on your phone. And again, usually just kind of clipping things out. You can add transitions and whatever. And also I have a tool that I like to use. I can record my screen or record from my screen, whether it's with my webcam or stuff I'm showcasing, called Screencast-O-Matic. And it's Screencast-O-Matic. It's $18 for a year, very cheap to use. And you can do cloud-based or download the app onto your computer. It's very easy to do some video and does let you do all that editing and let you do audio editing and all that stuff. And it's really, really friendly. So those are some ideas. Again, some you might have to pay for, but man, you got a smartphone, you've got video, you can make it. So use your smartphone. Let's talk about audio. So people will forgive a video if they can at least hear you clearly. So audio is really important. Now, if you are standing close enough to your smartphone or you're near enough to it during shooting a video and there's not background noise, that should be more than adequate, okay? However, a couple hacks. As you can see in the little ticker going by, you can do earbud microphones. So just those earbuds and then the little microphone that's right here. I've used that a ton. I've used that actually to record podcast episodes or my Amazon Alexa alert. You can actually, the update. So you can actually just talk right into it, and it's a better microphone than what you would just normally get off the bottom of your phone without any, any focal point to it. You can also look at getting a lapel mic on Amazon. And I'm actually going to showcase for you in a moment my whole list of Amazon items that I've gotten on Amazon, and I hack them and I use them because they're really handy. You can get a lapel mic. So they have a lapel mic, I believe it's $16 USD. So you can clip it on your right here on your lapel. So right about armpit level is good. And then it has like about a 6-foot long cord that could then plug into the bottom of your smartphone. And that's a great way to just make sure you've got some really crisp audio of yourself. Lastly, if you do want to go a little bit more upscale, and this is not even upscale really, the ATR 2100 is the microphone I'm using right now. I believe it ranks around $70 USD. I bought this 3.5 years ago, still going strong. I love it. Plugs in with a USB. It's great. So that can be something you use as well. Again, audio. People will forgive even a clippy video if the audio is good and the tell is as good or better than the show. Okay. One last thing I want to say about video is lighting. People forget about the lighting. They think, hey, I got a camera, I got audio, I'm good. You do need to pay attention to lighting. Right now, I'm sitting in a 4-foot square area in the corner of my bedroom. I have a corner wall of solid paint behind me, so that's probably one of the better aspects I can do here in my house. Also, nobody can just barrel in, so you may just need to find a little space in your house. But there's no windows behind me, so that's one thing you want to avoid. The only time you should do a video with a window behind you is if it's dark outside, all right? Because otherwise you'll show up as a silhouette because the brightness coming from behind will backlight you. You always want to try to have front lighting. So again, I have overhead lighting in this room, plus I've got her 2 reading lights that my husband and I use in our bedroom, and they're basically pointing up at the ceiling to come down on me. You can see me clearly. So that's really all you need. Might just need a lamp that's sitting somewhere in front of you and can just cast a fairly even glow upon you, as long as you're lit, lit by lighting. I don't care how else you're lit. But we do need to care about that. But again, no bright windows behind you in the front lighting. So those are all the components. And really, you probably already have all this stuff, the stuff that you really need. I gave you some things that you could pay to get, but you may not need all that. So really quick, I am going to show you this is my Amazon profile. It's Rachel Moore, and I'll put the link in that below as well. But really all I've got in here is some different items that, you can, some lists basically. Some video creation lists. So it's got some things you're not going to want to pay for, some a little more high-end things, but it does have like lighting kits, $34 right there. That's great. Lapel, again, that's actually only $20. And some other things, of course, drones and things like that. But really easy to find these things. I also have a podcasting gear, so that has some of the microphones I'm been using and things like that. So very nice things. And then, of course, my live streaming gear, which has like, this is the HR 2100. And then we've got the arm. I think that was only $14. It's clipped. I'm actually broadcasting to you. My laptop is sitting on a TV tray. I'm just saying, this is how easy this can be. I recommend though, too, for any of you who are doing show and tell, do it. And, if you're showcasing stuff and you're moving around and using your hands and things like that, show whatever your natural ambiance is. And what you're is that don't overdo it to where you have to feel like I need to look like a professional or anything like that. You are professional. Look how you would look if you were meeting them in person. And being natural and organic, that's going to be what people want to see nowadays, because remember, people are not meeting a whole lot of other people in person. They're going to be wanting that human interaction. They're not going to care so much what you look like. So the last thing I want to cover is, how do you make money through what you share? Okay. So we've already talked about getting into the headspace of DIY. How can you help give people what they're looking for already automatically because they can't get to you? Then the equipment you need, which is again bare minimum. How can you make that content that can help them? Lastly, I do think you should try to monetize it. Now, I want to say a quick word about supporting businesses. So a quick word to anyone out there who let's say you're someone who you're not taking a big financial hit. And I'm not talking about the stock market. I'm talking about your normal income, your way of life, your means of earning income. Maybe you're not taking a hit. Maybe your job is like, well, it's still going. I'm I'm an essential, part of an essential business. I've got plenty to do. I'm in good standing. I foresee I will be making the same amount of money for a while. That's the person I'm talking to right now. And I'm fortunately in that case as well, where I know that I cannot get to the salon probably for another few weeks, let's say. I know I'd still love it. In that time, I would probably get my hair done. I could and should send that money that I would normally pay my stylist and say, can I give this to you anyway? Because I know I can't see you, but I don't know how you're going to get through when you can't see people. So can I just give this to you? It's something that would have been in your budget anyway. If you have the means to do that, let's do that. I'm putting down that challenge right now to all of us. Reach out to the businesses, the places that you most frequent, that if they weren't there in a month, you'd be upset or sad and would want them back. Think about who those businesses are. And there's likely a way you can reach out to them and say, how can I support you? I mean, with actual money right now, so you can get through this. Do that. Okay. So let's talk about that from the business side of it. So let's say again, now I'm talking to the people who are those business owners or employees who are saying, I don't know if our business will be there in a month. What do we do? So right during this video, you can go do this. Go download the Venmo app, V as in Victor, ENMO. Download the Venmo app on your phone or phones. Okay. The Venmo app is a free way and a social way, actually, that people send money back and forth to each other. It goes from like colleagues who one gets a latte for the other. So you can Venmo them $5, use a little coffee emoji. They know what it's for. Moms and daughters paying each other back for cosmetics or a shopping trip or airfare, that, hey, you bought this for me, let me pay you. I actually used Venmo to accept donations last year for colleagues' baby shower. It's a free way, no fees, to send money back and forth. So if you set up a Venmo for yourself, it's very easy to say, hey, here's my handle on Venmo. All that person has to do is go type it into Venmo. They'll find you and they can send you money. I think business owners should do that. I also think if you don't have a PayPal account yet, set one up. Again, you can do it for free with an email address, and then you can actually link your bank account to it, and people can PayPal you money directly. You just transfer it right into your bank account. I do recommend too, for again, getting back to anyone who is going to send money to any businesses, please use the friends method. It'll ask you, are you sending money to a friend or to a business for an invoice? What are you doing? Select the friend method because that will actually not cost any fees. If you do the other way, PayPal will take a cut to pay for the invoicing processing of it. So the recipient does not get the full amount. I believe it's like 2 to 3% that they don't see. But if you send via friends, the whole amount goes across. All right. So set that up. Also, Stripe, I believe, is a free way to set up credit card processing. But keep in mind, it will take, again, a percentage. It takes a credit card fee cut off of the top of that, of whatever you're trying to send or pay via credit card. So set up Venmo, PayPal, and Stripe, at least one of them, so that you can make it an easy, quick thing for someone to send you money. One other thing I didn't list in here is Facebook Messenger. You can actually send money via Facebook Messenger to someone that you're in a messenger chat with, as long as you both have accepted or you're friends. It's easy to send money that way as well. Just links right to a PayPal account or a bank account. All right. And then some ways that you can use with trying to monetize this. So let's say you've got your videos and you're like, okay, and I've got Venmo set up. How do I make sure people might pay me for this if they want to see it? A couple ways, and I'm just going to give you a couple. One is that you can set up a private Facebook group. You could set it up. It's free to do. You just need a Facebook profile and you can create a group, create a private group. And what you can do is put your videos in there. And then outside of that group, you can say, hi, you know what, I've created a place where I'm providing some best practices and tips. If you want to pay me $10, $15 to get in, you'll see all the videos. Here's my Venmo, here's my PayPal. And as soon as you get that person's payment, you can say, okay, great. Let me have your Facebook email address. I'll add you to the group. So it's a pay to play. You can also, as you do videos, you can upload those to a YouTube channel or YouTube user account and just mark it that it is unlisted or private. If it's public, it's just going to be out there and anyone can see it, which is fine. That's what this video is going to be. But if it's not, if it's unlisted or private, you can actually still regulate who sees it. So again, if you have people announce somewhere outside, on Facebook or wherever, say, hey, I actually have some helpful YouTube videos. Would you like to see them for maybe $10 and I can give you access to all of them or one of them or whatever? As soon as someone gives you that money, you can say, great, here's the link. Go ahead. Now they can go see it. And of course, you can, if you do a private video on YouTube, you can actually enter email addresses of who can have access to that video, so you can regulate it a bit more. If you have unlisted and you share the link with somebody, they can certainly forward that link without someone else paying to somebody else. So private might be the way you'd want to go again too. So private Facebook group, private YouTube video, and you can, in exchange for getting receiving funds, give that video link to somebody. All right. And lastly, the thing I was going to say too is that sometimes it's good to give to get, where you may have some best practices you can share and you just put them out there without asking for anything in return. I think that's great. That's again what this video is. I don't want anything in return for this. Again, I won't put ads on this video. I think it should be out there in case anyone finds it useful. But that is something to do too, because it can build that credibility, remind people you're trustworthy. Plus, by allowing them to see it, you're proving I know what I'm talking about. I know that I have something to offer you that can help you. Here, just take it. That's a great way to give to get, because people remember that, and it's really important right now more than ever, because we're all we're in fear, and there's panic, and people aren't sure what's next. Not certain what tomorrow's going to bring. That's a really great time to stand together and be there for each other. So, just a quick word on that: giving away, free advice is okay. It can be a giving to get situation, and might just feel good. So that's really all I had to share with you today. Again, I wanted this to be useful. If you have tips I didn't cover, or you have additional resources, pop them in the comments. If this is helpful to anyone that you know, share it to them. It's cool. I want this to be helpful. These might be things that you haven't had time to think about because you're like still trying to figure out, oh my gosh, I have people who rely on me and things like that. I think if we can all stick together, we can do this. And it's going to be hard. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but these are just a few ways maybe it can be doable. Okay. So with that, I hope you all stay safe. I hope you all are washing your hands for 20 seconds. If you want, share your hand washing song in the comments. I tend to use 500 miles, and I would walk 500 miles, and so I do the chorus through the first da da da, and that's about 20 seconds. So if you have a favorite song you like to wash your hands to, put it in the comments. Maybe it'll help us all wash our hands a lot. And use lotion, because, oh my gosh, it dries them out. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great healthy rest of your day. And let's keep these businesses going. Okay. Bye.